Today we're going to be talking about external administrative access into private EC2 instances and the idea of having a strong perimeter and the idea of having least access. So with an EC2 instance, you're running a virtualized instance that you would still be managing through things like SSH and accessing servers through SSH. Now, protecting those specific protocols such as SSH and making sure that you're minimizing the attack surface so that only specifically authorized instances are allowed to be externally accessed to get to SSH is going to be important. So we're going to be talking about two concepts. One concept is the idea of a Bastion host, and the other concept is the use of something called Session Manager, which is an AWS specific tool. So let's start off with the idea of what a Bastion host does. A Bastion host is considered a hardened host that is used for gaining administrative access to EC2 instances that are in a private subnet. So basically, you're going to have that one host that you access to basically use as a bastion or jump into the other hosts that are in the private subnet. Now, what this bastion host can do is it's a hardened host, so it basically limits the attack surface and it's specifically hardened for that access from the external world to get into your environment. Now, what's going to be important is making sure that you're limiting that external administrative access to only that Bastion host. So basically, none of the other instances you would be able to access directly from the internet to get into on port 22 using SSH or anything like that. So it'll only be the Bastion host that you would be accessing to be able to get to those other hosts. So that's a kind of an important key concept, is that you have a specific system that is designed and hardened to allow for that administrative access into your other systems. Now, within AWS, they've developed a new tool that's called Sessions Manager. What Sessions Manager allows for is basically the blocking of all external SSH access into your environment. So instead of having a Bastion host, you have nothing that's going to allow external access, and you're going to access your EC2 instances for administrative purposes via the AWS control panel. So what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of walk through Sessions Manager and how it works and what you can do. So when you log into your AWS control panel, you can go to Systems Manager, because Sessions Manager is part of the Systems Manager suite. Then you go down to Sessions Manager. Now, Sessions Manager uses IAM policies and a couple other pieces to allow for that administrative access from the AWS control panel. But the IAM policies are what control access, and also you can define what users can access the Sessions Manager. You can do all that through IAM. Also, Sessions Manager can do logging, so you can log all the actions that are done to your EC2 instance via the command line. But let's just show what it would look like. So if we start a session, we are going to log into this. So as you can see, Sessions Manager allows you to log in via the AWS control panel to your EC2 instance. Now, what this means is that you don't have to open a port on any security group. You don't have to allow that external access to port 22, which makes sure that you have that strong perimeter around your environment. And everything is going to be managed, and all your administrative actions are being managed through this Sessions Manager, which is going to open a command prompt, and you can do the specific administrative tasks that you need. So kind of the conclusion of this is you want to limit the ability for people to connect to the administrative port, even if you want to use a Bastion host, making sure that the Bastion host is the only thing that people can connect to externally to get to the other hosts in your environment, or using Sessions Manager or whatever the case may be. You just want to make sure that you're not having multiple hosts out there that have external access on those administrative ports like port 22, and that you're using that kind of idea of least privilege and a strong perimeter to be able to get into your environment.